Warrior. Let's talk about surrogacy. Mainly today, you hear about surrogacy. It's a couple that can't have a baby, or you may hear about a celebrity who used surrogacy, although a lot of them don't admit that they've used surrogacy, but that's another story. Why I want to talk about this is because surrogacy is a form of human trafficking. We know that a lot of vulnerable women from vulnerable communities or vulnerable countries are forced into this and have to give up their babies. It is a way for them to make money, or they've been trafficked into doing this. It is a thriving business. We've always heard about Ukraine being one of the premier spots prior to all this war happening, where Americans were seeking babies because they liked the looks of the fair skin and a lot of the blonde hair, blue eyed. We've heard about that. Now, why is it trafficking? Again, because when you have the definition of force, fraud, coercion, and you may have a teen or a young woman who is in a vulnerable position and this is her option, or she's exactly trafficked and forced into this, this is a form of trafficking. But now we have, from Representative Nancy Mace, we have a new bill about surrogacy. And this is brand new. I want to get into it a little bit, where we have sex offenders have been using surrogacy to obtain children. Now, think about that for a second. Why would anybody with a criminal record be allowed to adopt a baby? Again, we're a family program, so just use your imaginations, your minds. This is horrific. You know, if you have a criminal record, you can't vote, yet you can adopt a human being. Where is this really all going? So I'm going to be learning more about this piece of legislation. I'm going to be putting it online for you to read about. But also, there was a story a couple of months back where a couple, both of them offenders, adopted a baby boy. And I thought to myself, because people online were bringing this forward, and it did vet, I checked it out. This is horrific. They have these criminal records of abuse of boys, yet they were allowed to adopt a baby boy. Now, did they obtain that baby boy from circumstances not legal, whatever? But you know, it's a terrible answer. When people say, why does all this happen? Why? It's always profit over people. It's always the dollar sign. It's incredible. It's incredible that I have to keep saying there was a war on for our children. I can clearly see it. I woke up several years ago, and our children are the target. Our future American adults are future American leaders. We have seen it from every area now, from all of that Epstein stuff and what you're reading, and you don't even know the half of it, right? That was going on with all of that. We'll never know all of that. Things we aren't knowing about. Why things in Washington they're allowing, AI. Why right now in LA Superior Court we have a groundbreaking trial going on. This will begin the third week tomorrow of I should say, depending when I put this video up this week, of this slated 6 to 8 week trial, holding big tech accountable for harms caused to kids. Product liability case, product liability. Because remember, under this Section 230 that said, okay, big tech, you're a newsstand, you're a billboard, you can't be held responsible. Great. And back in 1996, that worked. Fast forward 30 years, no longer works because we have multiple, every day, apps popping up, games popping up, sites, this, that, and the other thing. Big tech has no real regulation. Big tech has no real transparency. We don't know who are on these child safety councils they tell us they have. There's no way to get in and look at anything, right? We know from parents whose children have been harmed when they tried to report things, nobody answered them. There was nowhere to go, okay? So what I say to you is Section 230, the good news is there is a piece of legislation right now called Sunset Section 230, Communications Decency Act. It's never even been amended to keep up with the times in 30 years. Unheard of, because every other trafficking bill we have has to be renewed, has to be amended, has to go to a vote, okay? Why, after all, we just had Trafficking Victims Protection Act. Renewed after 9 years. It took 9 years in Congress. 9 years. A lot can happen in 9 years. So you see it's kicking the can down the road, which is all the more reason Like, we have to do the work ourselves, right? Yes, we'll do the legislation in our state capitals, we'll work in Washington, but you and me in the community, in our homes, in our environments, with our friends, in our places of worship, in our schools, have to get in there. Things warriors are really coming to a head. And now we have AI. All the more reason. Let's stay in our bubble. Let's not get overwhelmed. Because there's a lot of noise and distraction going on. When the real issue is our children. But who in their right mind, let's go back to the beginning, would allow offenders with a criminal record to be adopting babies? There is a war on for our children. There was a war on also. I had a discussion with somebody very prominent on the phone last night, and when these elites, these wealthy people, these considered gods, remember, because in our society in America it's like money and power, there's nothing left for them. They laugh at all of us. Everything's a sideshow for them. When there's nothing left, you know what's left? Stealing the innocence of a child. That's what's left. Because there is nothing else left. And this person said, who's a great source, firsthand, I trust implicitly, that is what they do. That is what gives them their kicks. There's nothing left for them that money can buy but overpowering a child, stealing the innocence of a child. Ruins that child's life for the rest of their life. The trauma, the shame, the guilt, them thinking there's something wrong with them. Think how all this has come to a head. Think of the burden that mental health component puts on our U.S. healthcare system, which is always crazed. Like, nobody can ever figure all that out, at least in my entire lifetime, what goes on there. Think about the monies spent, the burden. Think about the trauma that affects as these children become adults and may get married and may have children of their own, passing on the trauma, passing on the depression, anxiety, right? How many more people are medicated? Because remember, doctors like to slap on a pill, and that's about it, instead of really getting at the organic, not all doctors, but getting at the organic root of the cause. A pill, a pill, a pill, a pill. Addiction. It is a constant vicious circle, right? But criminals, offenders, and there's a word that precedes that, I think you know the word, being allowed to adopt little babies. What are they doing with those babies? The good news is Representative Nancy Mace does have a new piece of legislation. We're going to get on this. We're going to report back to you. Make sure you honor our hashtag Community Creates Change. Make sure you follow us at lynswarriors.org. Yeah, I'm behind on everything because I've been traveling our great country. I've been doing the work. I have to add on media appearances and all that stuff. But you know what? When I break it all down, none of that's really important. The work is us talking to each other. The work is you having a takeaway. Talk to your kids. Be alert. Take care of your own little circle, because that'll snowball and empower our country. But take care of the kids. They need us to mentor them, to talk to them. I know teenagers can be tough. Got to listen to them. It's not them and us. It's us together, our partnerships. Because you know what? No one else is really taking care of the kids. It's up to us. Join me each and every day when you wake up. Oh, I should throw in, thank you. I've had a recent spate of support and donations, and also following online is always a good idea. That's free. Come on, it helps us build numbers. Gets us onto that super highway on YouTube. People wanting to volunteer, my warriors out there that when I put the take action out and say, especially we have a lot of grandmas out there that help out, you're going to call Congress, and we give them the list, we give them the phone numbers. They actually get on the old-fashioned horn, as we like to call it, and call the offices. Remember, today, when we put a take action out, either state or federal, if an office gets 4 to 7 calls, and you might get an answering machine, but you leave the message short and sweet. I give you the dialogue. I tell you what to say. For instance, like Kids Online Safety Act, they must address 4 to 7. It used to be like 10 to 12. Now it's 4 to 7. That's in our favor. So thank you for all of that. Let me know if you want to help out. We have a lot of take actions that are coming up this spring, starting end of this month, where we're going to need people just to call, send an email, We want all of you involved. We want all of you in 2026 to be a warrior. Protect our children.